The last remaining hold in with the NFL season a week away, Micah Parsons, who went viral in the Cowboys' last preseason game, lying on the training table, stuffed his face with some nachos. He said it wasn't disrespectful, but that moment fueled more controversy amid his contract standoff with Jerry Jones. And today, he was seen at DFW Airport with some reporting that he's looking to get a second opinion on his back. An MRI came back clean, but he says he's got a back injury and he's reportedly going to get a second opinion on that. Where? We don't know. Let's go down to the Metroplex where we find our Cowboys reporter, Garrett Podell. Garrett, what more can you tell us about this situation where we're now trying to follow Micah Parsons wherever he's going, whatever he's doing?
That's a great question, Chris. And you mentioned Micah Parsons walking into the preseason finale on Friday, munching on some nachos. After that game, I, along with 3 or 4 other reporters, followed Parsons and his team BFF Trevon Diggs down the hallway outside the locker room. Diggs stopped, turned around, crossed his arms. Parsons didn't speak to me and a couple other people, but Diggs did. And Diggs told us on that Friday, that's when Parsons got the MRI and that Parsons' back was, quote, a little tight, and that they were going to see what the MRI showed. Brian Schottenheimer yesterday at his roster cutdown day press conference at the Star, he said, yep, the MRI came back clean. Therefore, we, the Cowboys as an organization, view him medically cleared to practice. So that kind of cranks up the pressure on Parsons to do exactly what he's doing, go to the airport and get a second opinion, because otherwise the Cowboys might come after some of his money and start fining him for not practicing. Now, Brian Schottenheimer did say he spoke on Sunday with Parsons about the training table incident that you mentioned, Chris, and also when he was going to practice. And he said it was a good conversation. He's going to keep the details to himself. But he said the key thing with Parsons is he's been a hold in. He's been at the facility, he's been in walkthroughs, after practices, non-contact stuff, and in meetings. So they feel like his comfort level with new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus's scheme is good enough to play. But still kind of up in the air. Schottenheimer also did maintain he does believe Parsons is going to suit up in week 1. Now, would that be 75 players for the whole game? Probably not, Schottenheimer said, but he believes he will play.
Yeah, because we're running out of time here. It's a week from tomorrow. The Cowboys open up at Philadelphia. What are the different scenarios now as we get closer with Parsons looking for a second opinion on that back? What scenarios could be playing out here for Parsons and the Cowboys?
Well, for the optimistic Cowboys fan, Chris, the number one scenario would be what happened with Dak Prescott a year ago, just hours before kickoff in week 1. In Cleveland, before they played the Browns, Jerry Jones re-signed 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback Dak Prescott to a 4-year contract extension. Now, when I was able to, along with a few other people, speak with Dak Prescott after practice on Monday, we asked Dak, do you think Micah Parsons will be on the field with you on Thursday, September 4th against the Eagles? And he laughed and said, well, not with me. I mean, alluding to he's on offense. He's never on the field when the defense is on the field. But yes, Dak said he did have confidence that Micah would be on the field on Thursday. And why is that? Dak said, well, my own experience, alluding to he was re-signed hours before kickoff. So there's obviously that scenario. Micah re-signs right before kickoff. Jerry steals some headlines before the Eagles drop their Super Bowl banner. And everyone in Cowboys Nation rejoices. If no deal occurs, there probably isn't going to be a lot of negotiations during the season. So then that flips to offseason 2026. Parsons likely getting the franchise tag. And we're doing this whole song and dance again next year. Now, Trevon Diggs said after that Monday practice that Micah, quote, most definitely wants to remain a Cowboy, even though he did request a trade publicly through Twitter on August 1st. But Diggs said Parsons most definitely wants to be here. So we'll see how this unfolds here going down the last week.
Right.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, it really is. A week from tomorrow, a week from Thursday, the season kicks off, and the Cowboys are one of the first 2 teams kicking things off against the Philadelphia Eagles on kickoff Thursday. Garrett, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Cowboys' schedule is a lot tougher on the back end. See that note at the bottom. First team in NFL history with 6 straight against teams that won 11+. That starts week 12 with the Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, and then Commanders. before they finish up Week 18 in New Jersey against the Giants.